Chair Reed,
Here.
and then Committee Member Hardy.
Here.
Great. And that is our full committee today, just the two members. For staff members present, we have Principal Planner Fernanda Roveri and Associate Planner Christy Sabdo, as well as myself, Recording Secretary Jennifer Cleary. I will also take this moment to announce how members of the public can join our meetings live via Zoom Gov, a secure service that connects you live with no lag time. This meeting is also streamed live on youtube.com/City of Monterey with a 10-second delay and Comcast Channel 25 with up to a 90-second delay. If you would like to provide public comment, please join the meeting using Zoom or by telephone, making sure to join in time to accommodate delays. To join the Zoom meeting from a computer or phone, use the link or phone numbers on the agenda posted at isearchmonterey.org. Since the meeting has started, you'll find the agenda under the Recent tab. To join by telephone, dial 833-568-8864 toll free. Once again, that number to call is 833-568-8864. It's a toll-free number. Then enter the webinar ID 160-161-8047. Once again, this meeting's webinar ID is 160-161-8047. If the first phone number does not work for you, there are more listed on the meeting agenda posted at isearchmonterey.org. If prompted for a participant ID, press pound. Detailed instructions for using Zoom are available at monterey.org/public meeting. To provide public comments via Zoom, please use the raise your hand function at the bottom of your screen. To provide comments by phone, dial *9 to raise your hand, then *6 to unmute when called upon. Public commenters will be announced using their last 3 phone number digits or the name typed into Zoom. Public commenters will be muted until it is their turn to speak. Please turn off a TV or computer speakers or go to another room while connected, as background noise interferes with the broadcast. Public speakers will be called upon in order of hands raised. There is a 3-minute time limit for today's meeting, so please stay within that limit. And we currently do have attendees, but I don't see hands raised to provide public comment.
And I'm happy. I didn't realize I was chair, so I'm happy to chair the thing. So that's easy enough for me to do. So I didn't realize that was what I was doing. So before we called the meeting to order, before public comment, we actually need to do the approval of the minutes from September 16th, 2021. I reviewed the meeting minutes. Fellow Thomas, did you review the minutes at all?
Yes, I was at the meeting.
Oh, you were at the meeting? Okay, good. Then you were there.
Also.
Okay. Does anybody want to pull this from the consent agenda item?
No.
Okay, so hearing none. So can we, is there a motion? I move to approve the minutes as submitted.
Yes, I will make that motion.
Okay, and so I'll second it. Jennifer, if you want to do the roll call.
Yes, I think we should, although you both did agree.
I know, it's okay. We'll do the formal roll call. It's fine.
Yeah, Chair Reed.
Yes.
And Committee Member Hardy.
Yes.
Thank you. And I do want to clarify, I missed our Community Development Director, Kim Cole, is on the Zoom line. Sorry, I did not introduce you before when I announced staff members present. I do see she's been here the whole time.
Okay, and then we will open it up for public comment for anybody who has either online or in the council chambers who would like to speak on something that is in the purview of the zoning. We're not zoning. Well, there's feedback coming from somewhere, and I'm not sure if it's coming from my phone or because it usually doesn't. So I'm not sure where the feedback's coming from. Is there feedback in the chambers at all?
No.
No, not that we're hearing.
Okay, so I don't know where the feedback. Does somebody have? Is somebody not muted?
I've made sure that both of the computers in the council chamber are turned down the volume.
Okay.
I can double
Okay.
check it now.
So just if there's any public comment, please step forward and do public comment. Anybody
Chair-
online, Jenny?
So Chair Reed, I've looked online and there is nobody raising their hand at this time. Is there anyone in the council chambers?
There are you applicants or would you like to provide public comment? They are, both of the attendees here are applicants, so they would
Okay.
like to wait until their item.
So we'll close public comment and we'll move on to public appearance items. And first item is item number 3 on the agenda, which is consider 675 and 681 Van Buren Street. Assessors parcels number 001-512-008-00 and assessors parcel number 001-512-009. Lot line adjustment application SD 21-0061. To adjust the lot line separating the existing lot at 675 and 681 Van Buren Street and the existing lot at APN 001-512-009. Applicant and owner of the property is Solution West LLC, PC-D zoning district, medium density residential, general plan, use designation exempt from CEQA Article 19, Section 15305, Class 5.
Okay, thank
Please
you.
Take
Thanks, Chair.
six.
My name is Fernanda Roveri, Principal Planner. I will present this project to you. This is a map of the 2 lots in question. So one of them is APN 001-512-008-000. And in that APN, there are currently 2 residences, 675 and 681 Van Buren Street. They're 2 separate homes that are currently vacant. And the lot south of that is APN 001-512-009-000, which is completely vacant. There is no development on that lot. The general plan designation for both lots is medium density residential. The zoning is planned community downtown with an emergency shelter overlay. And both lots are located in the Old Town neighborhood. There is a 6-inch city sewer main line that separates the 2 houses, and it's shown in green on the map. The project is to move or adjust the lot line, which you can see here is on south of parcel B, which is the 681 Van Buren house. And the applicant would like to move that lot line north to be just south of the 675 Van Buren Street house. So effectively, by moving the lot line, both houses would be on separate lots. And the city sewer main is this line in green. That would stay the same. And it would not exactly, but closely be on at the same location as the proposed lot line. The 675 Van Buren Street house is proposed to be demolished because you cannot have a lot line be across a building. The sewer main is existing, and the applicant has proposed an easement agreement that would allow the city to come in and do sewer repairs if necessary. The applicant would like to reconstruct the 675 Van Buren Street house and provide an appropriate setback to the adjusted lot line. And the applicant would also like to expand the 681 Van Buren house and also meet any setbacks required. Since the proposed lot line location would be between the two homes, there is the potential that the sewer laterals that serve both homes and connect to the city sewer main, there's the potential that the laterals could encroach onto the adjacent parcel because of the way that the city sewer main line is located. And so the applicant has also proposed a covenant of easement to allow each parcel owner, if in the future the parcels have different ownership, the covenant of easement would allow each parcel owner to do sewer lateral repairs in the other property if necessary. And the applicant, again, like I said, has agreed to enter into an easement agreement with the city. And this easement agreement would be a 10-foot wide easement, a total of 10 feet wide, so 5 feet on either side of the sewer main. Again, to allow the city to make repairs. This is a site plan of what the applicant would like to do to the two homes. So again, on the north side is the 675 Van Buren reconstructed home. This is a proposed site plan. And on the bottom is the 681 Van Buren home, which would have an addition to it shown in, the lines are shown in bold. And both homes would stay outside of that proposed easement, 10-foot easement. In order for the minor subdivision committee to approve this lot line adjustment, there are 6 findings that need to be made. Basically that no new parcels would be created. This is just an adjustment of an existing lot line, which would be moving it so that the houses are separated, are on different parcels. And one parcel would have more land added to it, and the other one would have land subtracted to it. The lot line adjustment shall be consistent with the general plan and zoning ordinance, any specific plans, coastal plans, and building ordinances. And the lot line adjustment is consistent with the general plan and zoning ordinance in that there would be no change to the uses on site. The parcels would still be residential, and residential units are principally permitted in these parcels. And the applicant has agreed to demolish the 675 Van Buren house prior to recordation so that we don't have a lot line cutting across a home. The third finding is that the city can require the applicant to provide things such as easements to facilitate repairs of utilities. And so the applicant has proposed, again, that city sewer main easement agreement and the covenant of easement for access of sewer repairs. Number 4 is that no tentative map, parcel map, or final map shall be required as a condition of the approval. The applicant provided a tentative map exhibit, but the city has not required that the map be a condition of this lot line adjustment. And this tentative map is attached as Exhibit A to the resolution. Number 5, The lot line adjustment shall be reflected in a deed, which shall be recorded. And it's a condition in the resolution that the lot line adjustment will be reflected in a deed that will be recorded by the city. And so this will be executed after the conditions are met. And number 6, the city shall approve or disapprove a lot line adjustment pursuant to the Permit Streamlining Act. And the city has worked with the applicant over the past year to make sure that all Permit Streamlining Act deadlines are met. Staff's recommendation is approval of the lot line adjustment as shown in the resolution and exhibit. I'm available for questions and the applicant is also here.
Great, thank you for the presentation. I don't have any questions. Thomas, do you have any questions?
No, I do not either. It was a really nice and thorough presentation. Thank you.
So if there's anybody in the, if the applicant wants to come forward and say anything, otherwise we can open it to public comment at this time.
We do have someone on Zoom raising their hand. Max Troyer, is that an applicant or a public commenter? Okay, that would be at, once it is time for public comment, we can try it. We can call on Max, but did you say right at this point, you do not want to present as an applicant? Okay, thanks. Chair, is it okay if we move to public comment now?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, we do have one hand raised, and I will be sharing a 3-minute timer on my screen as well. So let me do that. Okay, and Max Troyer, you should be able to raise your hand now. I mean, you should be able to unmute yourself.
Hello. I also simply just want to say that I really appreciated the presentation and learning more about this project to move the lot line. And I think that seeing Exhibit A and knowing a little bit about what the applicant is going to do with the 2 properties really just makes this a slam dunk for the neighborhood. I think if the houses can be built as an Exhibit A, I think that would be simply lovely. I have a view out of my window on Van Buren Circle and I see the 2 existing yellow structures. So I only have my blessing to give to this project. And so I thought that's all I really have to say. I don't need to use my 3 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Max. Anybody else who would like to speak at public comment?
I do not see any more hands raised. As a quick reminder, there is a raise your hand function at the bottom of your Zoom screen, or to join by telephone, dial 833-568-8864, toll free. Once again, you can call 833-568-8864 to provide public comment. You will need the webinar ID, which is 160-161-8047. Once again, this webinar ID is 160-161-8047. And I see no hands raised currently. I think it might be time to move on.
Yep. So we can we'll close public comment and we will bring it back to the minor subdivision committee. I mean, I don't have any comments. Nice, quick, easy presentation. It makes sense. Nothing controversial at all. Don't have anything to say. I would entertain a motion to approve. Thomas, if you want to move to approve.
Yeah, we'll make the motion to follow staff's recommendation to approve the lot line adjustment, application number SD 21-0061 between 675 and 681 Van Buren Street.
Great, and I will second that. Jennifer, if you want to go through the roll call.
Chair Reed,
Yes.
Committee Member Hardy.
Yes.
Thank you. That motion carries and it is appealable with forms found at the planning office within the next 10 days.
Great. Let me just go back to my agenda. Blah, blah, blah. Oops, sorry, meeting procedures. Okay, then we are off on to item number, 4, if I can find it on my agenda. So item number 4 is consider 246 Anita Street and 251 Clay Street minor subdivision SD 21-0159 of a 7,200 square foot parcel APN 001-373-010 into 2 separate parcels. Proposed options for the minor subdivisions as Exhibit A and Exhibit B. Application / owner is Dorothy Massey. Zoning is R36 district, medium density residential general plan designation. Exhibit A requires an initial study pursuant to SEQA. Exhibit B is exempt from SEQA requirement. Staff, would you like to make the presentation?
Thank you. My name is Christy Sabda. I'm an associate planner with the City of Monterey. Let me share my screen here. Okay, so the application is for a minor subdivision of a 7,200 square foot parcel into 2 separate parcels at 246 Anita Street and 251 Clay Street. The project is located between Clay Street and Anita. There are 2 single-family houses on the parcel, one facing Anita Street and one facing Clay Street. The property has a land use designation of medium-density residential. The zoning is R36, and it is located in the Old Town neighborhood. At 251 Clay Street, there's an existing 1,035 square foot house and a 274 square foot garage that fronts Clay Street. At 246 Anita Street, there's an existing 755 square foot house and a 305 square foot garage. The applicant proposes to subdivide the lot into 2 parcels. The applicant has submitted 2 different proposals. Exhibit A is a straight lot line proposal, and Exhibit B is an irregular lot line proposal. So option 1, or Exhibit A, is the straight lot line proposal shown here, and the red is where the adjusted line would go. Well, it's actually not adjusted, it's the proposed subdivision. That's where the line would go in between the 2 houses. So that would result, this minor subdivision shown as Exhibit A would result in lot sizes at 251 Clay Street of 4,153 square feet and at 246 Anita Street, 3,047 square feet. So given that in the R36 zone, the minimum lot size is 6,000 square feet. However, the R3 district does allow an exception for minimum lot dimension standards. Lots may be subdivided to less than 5,000 square feet, but not less than 3,500 square feet, and only where development is limited to 1 single family residence, and the creation of the substandard lot does not conflict with an adopted area plan, policies, and programs. So as shown here, 246 Anita Street does not meet the minimum substandard lot size of 3,500 square feet. Option 2, or Exhibit B, is the irregular lot line proposal shown here, and you'll see in red is where the proposed lot line would go. And I've highlighted this kind of the resulting lots, one on Clay and one on Anita, and I'll describe this a little bit further. The resulting lot sizes would be 3,700 for 251 Clay Street and 3,500 for 246 Anita Street. And that would meet the minimum substandard lot size of 3,500 square feet. So the minor subdivision committee has the authority to recommend a decision to the planning commission. The planning commission shall review subdivisions where substandard lots less than 5,000 square feet are being considered. Today, staff is recommending the minor subdivision committee consider the two minor subdivision options provided by the applicant as Exhibit A and B, and either recommend denying both or refer one of the options or exhibits for approval to the planning commission with recommended conditions of approval. So here's the analysis. I'm trying to keep this like, okay. So Exhibit A is the straight lot line. And that is consistent with the general plan land use designation, as is Exhibit B, the irregular lot line proposal. In the medium density residential general plan land use designation, what is required is an average density of 8 to 30 dwelling units per acre. And both Exhibit A and Exhibit B would result in densities less than 1 acre. Both Exhibit A and Exhibit B do not meet the Old Town Area Plan Program 1.18, which discourages subdivisions into smaller lots and discourages substandard lot subdivisions. And I've highlighted the entire program written out here, and it's also in the staff report.
Christy, so I mean to interrupt. If you could go back. So the way I read that is that it's not inconsistent, right? It's just discouraged. Inconsistent would say it's not allowed and therefore it's inconsistent, but discouraged, right? I mean, is it really inconsistent?
Which one? I'm sorry, we're talking about.
Going back one more slide where it says talking about the Old Town, it's subdivisions, larger lots into smaller lots is discouraged, but is discouraged inconsistent, right? I mean, is that an inconsistent term? To me, I don't see that as inconsistent. It's just discouraged. Inconsistent would be it doesn't, you're not allowed to do it, and so therefore you're trying to do it. That would be inconsistent. But maybe I'm reading inconsistent incorrectly.
I mean,
the term inconsistent.
Yeah, staff interprets it to be inconsistent, but we are looking for direction from the minor subdivision committee on
Okay.
this. So
Okay.
Under the R3 zoning district standards, Exhibit A does not meet the R3 standards. And there are also existing nonconformities. A variance would be needed. And Exhibit B, the irregular lot line proposal, is generally consistent with the R3 standards with the exception of existing nonconformities. So in the Monterey City Code, it states the findings that are needed. And the way it's stated is that the Planning Commission shall deny approval of a tentative or final map if it makes any of the following findings. And then it lists them out here. And those I will go over kind of individually. Both exhibits do not meet findings. And I put A1 through 5E because in the report I list them as 1 through 5, but in the Monterey City Code, it's actually A through E. So when I say it does not meet, remember how it's written out here. It says the Planning Commission shall deny approval. So if it does not meet, then it should be approved in terms of these findings. And I wanted to point out that in my report, I had written it opposite in terms of the Planning Commission shall approve if meets the following findings. So I have a slide at the end that kind of reverses that. So if you were to recommend the same decision as staff, I have a list of how it should be corrected, how the resolution should be corrected. I hope I'm making sense. So finding A, both exhibits meet finding A in that they are not consistent with the Old Town Area Plan. So as a summary, Exhibit A, the straight lot line, the proposed minor subdivision meets finding A or 1 as it is not consistent with the Old Town Area Plan and does not meet all of the minimum substandard, or does not meet the substandard lot size or rear yard setback requirements of the R3 district. A variance would be required. Exhibit B, the irregular lot line, proposed minor subdivision meets finding 1 as it is not consistent with the Old Town Area Plan. So in summary here, under finding A1, Exhibit A does not meet the minimum allowable substandard lot size of 3,500 square feet. A minimum 3,500 square foot substandard lot size is allowed as an exception if where development is limited to 1 single family residence and the creation of the substandard lot does not conflict with adopted area plan policies and programs. So at 246 Anita Street, it does, you'll see here that it doesn't meet the minimum lot size. This is for Exhibit A. Also for Exhibit A, it does not meet the required minimum 14-foot rear yard setback. 10 feet is proposed in this location shown here. A variance would be required for Exhibit A because it does not meet the R3 standards. 246 Anita does not meet the minimum 3,500 square foot substandard lot size, and 251 Clay does not meet the required 14-foot rear yard setback requirement. A variance would be needed before and approved by the Planning Commission before considering a request for the minor subdivision. Staff is recommending denial of the minor subdivision Exhibit A straight lot line at 246 Anita Street and 251 Clay Street shown on Exhibit A. Staff also recommends denial of minor subdivision Exhibit B, irregular lot line at 246 Anita Street and 251 Clay Street shown as Exhibit B. And also, I have a slide, if you were to deny it, showing the correct findings, meets and does not meet. And that's all I have. And the applicant is present. We may have, I don't know if she wants to say.
I just have one point of clarification. I just want to clarify that the minor subdivision committee cannot make a final decision on the subdivision, the proposed subdivisions this afternoon. Your role is a recommendation to the planning commission on these issues. So I just wanted to clarify that.
So that means, Kim, that means either way, it will go to planning later on.
Correct.
Okay. That was a question I was going to ask. So you answered the question before I could ask it. So great. So we will bring it back to planning. Christy, if you could, there we go. Let me just pull this up on my computer over here. At this point in time, we will open it up for public comment, but first we will have, if the applicant wants to make a presentation, we can watch and listen to the applicant, and then we'll open it up to general public comment.
Yes, the applicant would like to speak.
Okay, perfect.
It's hard to get the applicant to shut up sometimes. Actually, I was so happy to hear your very first question, Mr. Reed, because on our Exhibit B, the only reason that it is not consistent with the area plan is because of that word discouraged. And discouraged does not mean it's not prohibited. So if I read it the same way you did. So I mean, really, that's my only comment, and that's the point that I wanted to make, and you made it for me, so thank you very much.
Sure. Would you please make sure your microphone is on?
Pardon?
Would you please make sure your microphone is on? There should be a button that says push. Is the green light
Okay.
on? Sorry, Hanson, can you please confirm if you just heard the applicant?
Yeah, no, I did. I heard. It was a little bit muted, but I don't know if the mic was on, but I heard it through somebody else's mic. So yeah, it was fine. I heard it. I heard what she said.
Oh,
So-
good. You.
I'll push that off.
Great.
Much.
Thank you. Is anybody else who wants to speak on this item?
We do not have any other attendees in person or on Zoom. Just one more time for the viewers at home to join by telephone, dial 833-568-8864 toll free. Once again, that number is 833-568-8864. The webinar ID for this meeting is 160-161-8047. Once again, this meeting's webinar ID is 160-161-8047. There is a link to join Zoom on the agenda posted at isearchmonterey.org. And I still see no hands raised and no attendees on Zoom either.
Okay, so we will close public comment and bring it back to us. My comment, Kim, is what does discouraged mean?
I would say as we worked with the Old Town neighborhood, they generally didn't want to see substandard lot subdivisions. And is it an absolute? No, it's not an absolute. It's discouraging it. So if the subdivision committee thinks that it makes sense, you could recommend approval to the planning commission. And I think the other issue that you really need to think about, if you are going to go down that path, in a lot of ways, the straight lot line makes a lot more sense than this sort of irregular lot line. I'm just trying to imagine a fence, even though it complies with the letter of the law. I think it would be unusual in the future.
There's no question, and I this is what I do for a living, and I find that the odd structure works and the reasonable one doesn't. I did have another question, and I cannot remember the name of the most recent bill that allows for lots to be split into 4 lots. Is it? I can't remember. Is it 2 lots or 4 lots? And how does that impact this? I mean, in order to, and my understanding is we haven't really talked about it in planning at all very much. I know that eventually we're going to get into this, but how does this project fit into that? And is it because there are, again, how does it fit into that, or does it not?
So I'll say this application was submitted before SB 9 became effective. So it's, we are, as I understand SB 9 today, and we are just trying to understand it more and more with outside attorneys as we're going to be bringing forth policy discussions to the planning commission. As I've understood SB 9 is if you have a single family lot, you can divide that lot. The way we've been discussing is instead of like back to back or between the 2 properties, you would be dividing an existing lot in half, but like the lengthways, not the widthwise. And you could build a total of 4 homes on that lot, but you can't demolish more than a certain percentage of the existing homes. You know, we did not evaluate this in light of SB 9, and we could go back and do that, but it does require a filing of a separate application. It's a whole different process. It's required to be ministerial, and we wouldn't even be able to bring it to the minor subdivision committee.
Yeah, I mean, you know, what do I want to say? I don't like the odd shaped lot. That to me, that's, and now I'm kind of going into the comments too. I don't like the odd shaped lot, but you know, it makes no sense that it technically probably could be done one way, and it probably could not be done the other way because the variance would not. You wouldn't be able to grant the variance I just don't think there's the findings to grant the variance. But I also don't see that this is you know, something that, right, it should be allowed, but it should be allowed to be done the right way. And because it fronts 2 different streets, you know, I don't see how the lot split under the new rules would not be allowed. I just don't, I mean, that seems to me to be odd that you would only go straight, because I mean, I could see if it was 2 lots back to back, you would have to split it that way. Or you could do a flag lot. If on a big lot, you could have a flag, you could have a driveway with a lot in the back. But to me, this screams reasonableness to allow for the straight line across the back. But I don't know. The only thing I'm just talking to myself here. I don't like if there was some other redeeming quality in it that makes that to me says the odd shaped lot makes sense just because we want to do this, then I think that we would probably overcome the discouraged. I mean, I think discouraged is not by in and of itself a reason to, because the term is there, in and of itself to a reason to disallow it. But I think discouraged has some sort of quantifiable amount to it, and I don't know what the quantifiable amount is. But to me, that odd shaped lot, which you cannot get around, you couldn't put a straight fence across and then sign an easement agreement, because easements, if you did exclusive easements, that doesn't comply with the Subdivision Map Act. So it doesn't work. So you basically would have to do this, either not do a fence and have it be open, which you could do, or you could do a fence of this scraggly property line. But to me, I mean, I don't think there's enough, now that I got that, been talking about it and thinking about it, I don't think there's enough to overcome the discouraged. I just didn't like that the discouraged was solely a reason. It seems to me that we should have had an analysis of how do we overcome the discouraged, and is there anything that would overcome the discouraged to make this worthwhile, such that this is a benefit to the community or benefit to the neighborhood. And I haven't seen that. And I would recommend that they go through this all the way to planning. And if not, then go back through the SB9 analysis.
Yeah, it's a really good point about the SB9 analysis. When we were meeting with the applicant and going through the various versions, SB9 hadn't even become law yet. And it may be allowed under SB9 as a ministerial action. So we can go, I think we definitely need to go back and look at that no matter what happens this afternoon.
Okay. So Tom, I if you watch planning commission meetings, I tend to talk a lot. So if you have any comments, questions, things like that, please.
No, this is a confusing one because neither one of them, I was hung up as I was reading it. So thank you for pointing out that discourage is different than prohibit, because when I read it, I'm an engineer, so I don't think widely, I think narrowly. So I think, well, there it is. It doesn't work. The fact that it's possible to get like the geometry to work on it with the jigsaw line makes it maybe palatable to in my mind. I'm like, well, okay, they could do it this way, but that's ridiculous. It would make so much more sense to go with a straight line, clearly. So I was hoping that we would kick it to planning.
We're kicking it to planning anyway, so
Yeah, I know.
So we can either way, if you want, you can vote no and I can vote yes, and or you vote yes and I vote no, and either way it doesn't really matter because it's going to planning anyways on this. And then Kim will most likely meet with the applicant and talk about SB9. So I mean, I am happy to. Okay, there's two motions, right? Christy, I read that. Where is it? Scroll down.
I can pull up the screen again.
Yeah, because there's one on A and then there's one on B, right? I mean, I know. So I would move that we recommend denying, and this is just because I really think that it doesn't meet on this level. Recommend that we deny referring the project to the planning commission and recommend denial of a minor subdivision between 210-159 between 246 Anita Street and 251 Clay Street for option 1, exhibit A.
I will second that.
Can I ask that you correct the findings, the meets and do not meet?
Yes, I will amend my motion to correct the meets and does not meet as were presented in the findings. Yes.
If I have to re-second, I will.
Okay. Jennifer.
Sorry, I just want to clarify, the motion is to recommend that the planning commission denies this application?
Yes, just for option 1, exhibit A.
Oh, got it. Okay, this is a confusing one. Deny. Okay. Okay, I think that's enough for me to do the roll call vote. Chair Reed
Yes.
and Vice Chair, Committee Member Hardy.
Yes.
Okay, so this is recommended to the Planning Commission. And it is not appealable because it is going straight to the Planning Commission already. That motion carried with 2 votes, which is the total number of people we have today on this committee.
And Thomas, I'm struggling on this one. I mean, to me, it's going up anyways.
Yes.
And I would move that we recommend denial of minor subdivision SD 21-0159 between 246 Anita Street and 251 Clay Street, option 2, exhibit B to the Planning Commission. And with the corrections to the meets does not meet on this, and as I did on the other previous motion. The only thing that I would like to add on this is that I think it doesn't meet under, or it meets under finding. No, it does not meet under finding 1. Wait, Christy, what am I supposed to, so what I'm trying to say is that the discourage is not overcome because of the oddness of the shape and the unreasonableness of that. So I don't know if that meets or does not meet the finding on.
If you're saying that it meets the Old Town Area Plan, then finding 1 would be does not meet. So they would.
So I think it meets. No, I think it meets. I think it meets finding 1. Because I'm saying it doesn't comply with the Old Town.
Oh, you're saying it doesn't comply with.
It doesn't, yeah.
Oh, okay, then meets.
Okay, then meets. Okay, got it. So then
I need to clarify. So are you ultimately not supporting that subdivision option B for the?
Yeah,
exhibit?
based upon yes, that's what I'm recommending. Christy, can you close your screen? Because I can't, wait, no, okay. There he is. There we go. Thanks. Yeah, I'm not supporting it because I think that what I wanted to find out was the discourage, and so we have a motion. So we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, now we can bring it back for discussion. So the reason why is I just wanted to make sure that discourage was not a prohibitive, but there is a threshold that needs to, in my opinion, a threshold that needs to be overcome to make it discourage. There's going to be reasons why discouraged is appropriate, and where you're going to say you're right, it's not approved, and then there's other times, yeah, it's discouraged, but it's still in the benefit of the neighborhood, and so therefore we're going to do it. And I don't think this project, based upon this presentation and everything that the staff has presented, and the current state of the law that this is being presented under, doesn't overcome that. I think that in fact the discouraged. We haven't breached the threshold on discouraged. So, Thomas, do you have anything else to say or discussion?
Oh. No, that sounds good, Hanson. Thank you for working through that.
Great. Jenny, do you want to call?
The applicant's asking to speak, and I don't know if that's appropriate.
No,
So
it's not appropriate. We're not going to reopen public comment. So I would recommend that the applicant work with Kim on SB9 and see if there's a better way to make this work.
Okay.
Jennifer, would you like to call the?
Yes, the second motion is to recommend that the planning commission deny option 2, exhibit B. Is that correct?
Correct, with the fixes of the meets and does not meet. Because Christie had them reversed. So
Oh.
that was the only thing.
Okay, and that goes for both of them, right? Both motions?
Correct.
Okay, thank you for clarifying. Sorry, this one is harder than usual to follow along with. For the roll call vote, Chair Reed
Yes.
and Committee Member Hardy.
Yes.
Okay, that is, that motion carries with a total vote of 2. All of our members voted in favor, and it is not appealable to the Planning Commission because it is going to the Planning Commission already.
Yep.
And
Okay.
Next, committee member comments.
I do not have any comments. It was exciting to be on here. Next time, hopefully I will be in person if there is one in the next year. So
Hope you feel better soon.
I
Yeah.
feel great. So it's just annoying. Thanks. Okay, then we will adjourn the meeting. Thank you very much. And everybody have a great rest of your Thursday.